Here we go.
There's no title bigger than this.
It is great to be back.
Welcome to the Worlds.
Wow.
Just superb.
Grit and determination.
Does her. Gets it done.
What darting entertainment this is.
Brilliant finishing.
And he saves his skin.
Pummeling the trebles again. Oh, he's in again.
There it is.
Nathan Aspell's fired up.
Composure and skill.
Oh, magnificent from Van Gerwen.
He's up there to prove a point.
And this time, Peter gets it right. It's all right on the night at the Alexandra Palace.
Hello and welcome to Alexandra Palace. It is the William Hill World Darts Championship. If you're looking for the greatest darts tournament in the world, you're in the right place. If you're looking for the greatest darts analysis in the world, well, I'm afraid you'll have to do with Chris Murphy. How you doing, Murph? Semi-finals day, this is exciting now, isn't it?
It is, really good, and I've been totally wrong about everything so far, so I'll try and keep up my proud record.
Yeah, well, he's basically just gazumped me there because I was about to point that out myself. Shall we talk about yesterday, because it was pretty special, wasn't it?
Really good, let's
do it in order, because there's so much stuff to get through. Now, Christoph Ratajski, Stephen Bunting, massive opportunity for two guys who'd never reached the semi-finals of this tournament before, and I thought that might weigh heavily upon them, but Stephen Bunting just gets better and better as the tournament goes on, and this is the sort of major winning force in darts that he wasn't a BDO, but we didn't really see after his first year, 18 months in the PDC.
Yeah, the best we've seen him play for some time, possibly the best we've seen him play in the PDC, and it seems to have come, I think, out of a clear blue sky. He's in that match against Ratajski, he got ahead by 3 sets, and Ratajski never really recovered, although he did give it a good go to get back into it.
I have to say, I thought the Polish Eagle was going to come back and turn this around until the point where he couldn't, because Bunting just kept on finding a way to steam towards the line. It's a ton plus average. He's getting better and better as the tournament goes on. I mean, how far can this go?
Well, it's difficult. I think it's difficult for him tonight against Gerwyn Price. But the way he's been playing, there's no reason why he can't carry on. And I think that match is all about Price. I think if Price plays like he has been, Bunting's gives him a very good game. But if Price raises it to the level we know he's capable of, then he can easily get through to the final.
Oh, well, we are going to talk about what we've got on semi-finals night, surely. But let's go through the quarter-finals, because in the afternoon session, we then saw Gary Anderson. Now, it's a strange one, this, because I really fancied Dirk van Duijvenbode to test him, and I thought if he tests him, he'll get the job done. Just didn't happen at all. Just let Gary walk all over him. It was good from Gary Anderson, but it didn't have to be brilliant from him, did it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was brilliant at times, in patches. The best he's played in this tournament, by his own admission. The best he thinks he's played for a couple of years. But Dirk, I think, again, and I've said this all the way through about him and Devon, I think he showed Gary a little bit too much respect. There was a sign at the beginning of the match when he went to the wrong table, and I thought, hang on a minute here, Dirk knows what he's doing, but actually he kind of just let Gary play his own game, and when Gary plays his own game, of course he's capable of beating anyone and capable of winning world titles.
I genuinely don't know if Dirk understands how tables work. A multi-table setup for Dirk van Duijvenbode completely scrambles his brain. I don't know what he was like at school. He must have just turned up and just seen 30 desks and have no idea what was that. Maybe that's why he works on an aubergine farm. But is Gary playing himself into form? Because we saw at the match play that even though his throw was messy and he wasn't looking good, he found ways to win games until it came to a shuddering halt, because he sort of got found out in the final by Dimitri because it wasn't consistent, wasn't good enough.
Historically, Gary Anderson has turned it on for this tournament as well. He's got a lot of success on this stage. At the 1-3-1 we just saw a fantastic check out on very Gary Anderson, isn't it? It's treble 17, 2 double tops. He was pushed obviously against Mensah Suljovic, but since then it's been an absolute breeze for Gary Anderson. I don't think it will be the case tonight, but he certainly is playing himself into form, and he could win a third world title.
Yeah, I mean, he was tested, pushed by Mensah Suljovic, as you say, because he made life difficult for Gary Anderson. Devon Peterson and Dirk van Duijvenbode didn't, and look what happened. They only managed to get one set between them. Now then, Gerwyn Price, Daryl Gurney. Gerwyn Price looked in control of this game to me, and then just fell over the line. The last 11 legs of that, Daryl Gurney won 3. Daryl Gurney only lost 3 of them. It was just unfortunate for him. They all came in a deciding set and he lost the match.
Yeah, remarkable stuff. Daryl Gurney I don't know how he got back into it. I don't know how he found himself in that position, but it looked like the tide was turning in that match, and it looked like kind of Price went a little bit flat towards the back end of it.
A bit flat.
And Gurney could have taken it, but no. Once again, another last leg decider. That's 15 now in this tournament. Quite remarkable. But yeah, I think that, Gurney has had an excellent tournament out of nowhere. Price has kind of been expected to be where he is right now, but he's only just got there by the skin of his teeth.
Well, he's expected to be where he is right now by playing brilliantly, and I don't really think we've seen. I thought he was very good against Brendan Dolan. I have to say, I thought he
still went all the way, didn't he?
Yes, it did. That's the thing. He's not blasted anybody off the board yet, and the longer he's in the tournament without that happening, the more likely I expect it to happen. If it happens tonight and if it happens tomorrow night, then that's it. We have a Welsh world champion. Never seen a Welsh person in the PDC make a World Championship final, actually. We've had plenty of people try it, but if he does win tonight, that'll be a first.
Yeah, and it is Stephen Bunting for Gerwyn Price tonight. Do you think that's a nice semi-final for him? Do you think it's a good opponent? Because Stephen's not one to really get riled. He'll play his own game. Price will play his own game. Do you think that's a shoe-in for Price to be in the final?
You know what, I'm going to think on that, and we'll show you the highlights from the final game, because, I mean, there are highlights. They didn't last very long, but it was just nothing but highlights, because Dave Chisnall has put in one of the most astonishing displays. He called it the best display of his career. It's certainly one of the most remarkable results we've seen in the William Hill World Championship. Where do you rate that in terms of individual displays?
Michael van Gerwen called it the best game of Dave Chisnall's career as well. Incredible. It is certainly, I think, one of the most incredible results we've ever seen at a World Championship. Michael van Gerwen was just completely blown away by Dave Chisnall. I can't remember Michael van Gerwen getting a dart for a set. Did he get a single dart for a set?
No, I don't think he did.
Quite remarkable. There was that incredible moment, of course, with the 9-darter.
But we've seen him do that before. He did it last year. So Dave Chisnall's on a 9-darter.
Yeah.
He actually misses the dart for it. Van Gerwen happens to be on 1-4-1, the same checkout that Chisnall just missed, and takes it out. Now, I don't think he took it out against Darius Labanauskas last year. He also did it on the European Tour somewhere, I think. I couldn't remember where it happened. But what's your interpretation of what he was doing there? Is that the dead cat shot?
Yeah, I don't think it was a case of the game's gone, so I'm just going to just do whatever I want. But I think it was a case of the game's going, and I need to do something to get into his head. And I think that's what Michael van Gerwen did. And Dave Chisnall did say in an interview after the match, I knew I needed to hit that double six when I came back up, because that could have put me off a little bit. But the way that he got in that position and then just carried on at that relentless power. He outscored Michael van Gerwen by some distance.
Easily.
And his finishing was fine as well. If he plays like that, he wins the tournament.
Well, that's the thing. It's not just a one-off display, though, is it? Because what we saw from him against Dimitri Vandenberger was chucking 109 average against him for the first, 6 sets, and still losing.
And at a very different pace, a very different kind of player.
We've seen some proper heavy artillery chucked at Dave Chisnall for 2 games running, and he's just dealt with it, and he's just dismissed the World Match Play champion and the 3-time world champion, and he deserves to spread his arms around like that, because it's astonishing what he's done. He's the player of the tournament post-Christmas, has to be.
Absolutely, and as I say, one of the biggest results in my memory in the World Championship, one of the best performances I can remember in the World Championship. And you know what, Dave Chisnall, for me, deserves to win a major title. I think he's become a little bit of a forgotten man over the last few years, Dave Chisnall, but everyone remembers him now, and everyone will remember that performance for many years to come.
Well, let's see, because 2 people will make the final. Tonight we start off with a former world champion in Stephen Bunting, arguably playing the best stuff of his career. I mean, you said his performance has come out of a clear blue sky. If you think back to, say, November last year, had a great run at the Players' Championship finals, chucking in massive averages, ton-plus averages, and he was saying then, I've been doing this. This is where my career is going. It's been building to something. It just we haven't seen it happen enough, not consistently from him. But he has beaten Gerwyn Price on a big stage in an incredible game at the World Match Play last year. If you well, not last year, year before, of course. Yeah. It's 2021 now. But he has beaten him. Gerwyn, as you'd imagine, though, has the better of the head-to-head record.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be, both players will see it as a good game, because Stephen Bunting's not the kind of player to really get riled by what his opponent does, and Gerwyn Price will be allowed to play how he wants to play without any sort of anger or angst from his opponent. So I think it's a good game for both of them, and it could make for a very good game. But Bunting has to play at that level that he did in the last round, averaged just over 100. To have a chance, I think, to win the match. Price has been sort of high 90s the whole time. We know that he's got gears, but we haven't seen them yet at this tournament. It's a very, very interesting one. Looking at the two fixtures, there's a possibility for a very, very nice and friendly final between Stephen Bunting and Dave Chisnall. There's also a possibility for a little bit of needle, shall we say, between Price and Anderson.
Yeah, I have to say it is interesting. Part of me would love to see the two mates. I think they played in the same pub team together, Bunting and Chisnall. They go way, way back. That would be fascinating. But Price Anderson, I think there's a lot of people who just either they want to see them go head to head in the biggest game in world darts because they're massive fans of one or the other and they want to see him smash the other one. Other people, like myself, are just, well, I'm quite interested to see what happens with it. I'm not sure whether we're going to get either of those because, look, I feel the same about Gerwyn Price as I did about Krzysztof Ratajski, where I was like, he's not played his best yet. It's going to happen at some point. Ratajski let me down, and he hasn't. But Gerwyn Price is the favourite for the title and was second favourite before we got going for a reason. It's going to happen at some point, isn't it?
Well, he's also got the pressure of becoming world number one if he wins this title as well.
And he's been
Price.
Thinking about that every day.
Yeah,
apparently.
he says so. But what I'm going to suggest, Dan, is because I have been absolutely terrible at predictions, is I'm going to ask you to call what you think is going to happen in this first match.
Well, I still think that Gerwyn Price is going to deliver. I think he's too good not to. I think what will happen is Gerwyn Price is going to become world champion. And if Gerwyn Price does become world champion, then he immediately gets raised a level. What we've seen over the last few years, back-to-back Grand Slam wins, certainly puts him right up there in people's estimate. Well, who are the great players in the modern game? Chucking in the Grand Prix, chucking in the World Series finals he won this year, won more titles than anybody else this year. People are going to have to start recognising that this guy, who a few years ago, if you remember, the likes of A.D. Lewis are going, oh, what has he won? He's done nothing. Or those back-to-back Players' Championship titles. Oh, it's only when some of the big boys are away. They give them away in a raffle. People have to realise that this man is here to stay and is one of the dominant forces and could be for a number of years. And if he did win, he wouldn't just be world number one. He'd be about 300 grand ahead of MVG.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even going to overtake him suddenly in February or March or anything like that. It is big money we're talking
And
about.
the first one for 7 years, Michael van Gerwen's been world number one, and before that, Phil Taylor for a number of years as well.
Exactly. Well, look, that's what I think. I think Gerwyn Price is going to do it. As much as I would love to see Stephen Bunting go and reach the final, I think it's been an incredible tournament already, and he may surprise me. Surprise me against Ratajski. Chizzy Anderson. Does Chizzy keep on doing it?
Well, I mean, what he did last night suggests that he will keep on doing it because he actually went up a level from the performance against Dimitri Vandenberg. So if he can keep that going. The only danger, I think, with Dave Chisnall, and we've said it before on this show, is that sort of feeling of after the Lord Mayor's show. Can he come down 24 hours on from that performance, the best of his career? How many times do we see it where Taylor or Van Gerwen are beaten and then the player bombs in the next round? If Chisnall plays like that, he wins this match 100%, but there's a danger that his level might just drop a little, Gary's might continue to rise a little, we get a very good game and Gary Anderson's experience takes him over the line.
Yeah, I do not know. I think whoever does come through, it's going to be a fascinating final for us. I believe that Price is going to come through against the Bullies. You're completely sitting on the fence.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
bearing in
it
mind
now.
you've got everything wrong,
That's
does
it
that
now.
mean that both of them can win in the second one?
I think, two of them will win tonight and then one of them will win tomorrow.
It does not matter. It does not matter who comes through it. Semi-finals night here at Ali Pali. It is going to be a magnificent final we have set up, whatever combination. It could be an All St Helens one, it could be that grudge match between Anderson and Price, or it could be a different combination. But whatever happens in these best of 11 set matches, they are long formats. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be thrilling, it's going to be very, very important. Enjoy tonight's darts.